know about that transcendental happenings, incidents, they're all so uplifted. They all got so elated, uplifted with divine happiness upon knowing about that true story. And considered boy Raghunandan like also their great guru, Siksha Guru, although they all had their own gurus. But they consider this Supreme Lord, their lordships became so, how to say, so controlled, so one. Even the Radha Gopinathji became so one, so conquered by the power of his devotional love of this boy Raghunandan. We could not have that chance. We could not have that higher fortune. It was not. We could not have that wonderful manifestation, transcendental manifestation of their Leela. So, Raghunandan, let us be offering our great respect, all our love and respect to Raghunandan, knowing he is more advanced than us. In the world of the Vaishnavas, although they are all in relation to boy Raghunandan, they are all father figures, mother figures, some of them grandparents figures, grandfather, grandmother figures. But they started this from that time onward. Many of them started looking at him, looking up to Raghunandan like their guru, great Siksha Guru, and used to be addressing, used to be looking at him, relating to him not only with so much affection, so much love, affectionate respect, yes, not only with so much affection, but also with so much respect, so much adoration and respect, feelings of love and affection towards him, Raghunandan Thakur. Also, besides, today is the Disappearance Day of another great Vaishnava, Abadhuta Vaishnava Guru, Srila Vamshi Babaji Maharaja. We can be marking some wonderful thing. I repeat, we can be particularly marking something wonderful, that while Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada were discarding many of the Babajis who were engaged in Sahaja activities at that time, who were all engaged in many wrong Sahaja activities in those days, at that time. But although apparently Banshidas Babaji Maharaj also looked to be somewhat connected with that kind of that lineage or that society, although he was not really a part of those, but looked like outwardly. But see, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, both sorted him out. So he sorted him out. Okay. Found him in a very specific way, discovered him in a specific way, that he is a pure Vaishnava. He was one of the very few pure devotees of Gaura Nityananda Radha Krishna, Gaura Gadadhara. He was Mahatma, one of the not only pure, exalted pure devotees. So they could sort out Guru Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Vamshi Das Babaji Maharaj, that way, that Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. They are the ones, full purity, exalted, pure devotees of Lord. So both of them, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, both of them respectfully honored them, embraced them as great acharyas in their life. I repeat. So both of Mr. Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, they both fully recognized them, accepted them as pure devotee Mahabhagavatas, Mahabhagavata Vaishnava Acharyas in their time. Okay, so separated them from others, others who are engaged in some Savaji activities and all. So Vamshi Das Babaji Maharaj, besides Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, so Vamshi Das Babaji Maharaj was one such Mahabhagavata, Avadhuto, fully respected and recognized by Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. It was contemporary, he was contemporary to him. He used to be living, so Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, okay, according to the sources, according to certain reliable sources, he used to be living in Sharupganj area. He used to be living in the Godruma Deepa, now Sharupganj area. Sometimes coming across the Ganga. Also used to be living nearby Baral Ghat area. Okay. So he used to be living in Navadvip Dham from the for many years. According to some sources, his Diksha Guru was Harilal Brajavashi, Srimad Harilal Brajavashi. Besha Guru was Ramananda, Ramananda Ji Brajavashi. And Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj, Diksha Guru and Besha Guru. Respectively, Harilal Brajavashi, Harilal or Harolal, someday Harilal Brajavashi, and Ramananda, Srimad Ramananda Brajavashi. So he used to be living in Navadvip Dham, mostly in Godruma Deepa. Okay. Sometimes he was found to be doing some little parikrama, okay, around Navadvip Dham, through Navadvip Dham. Every day he used to go out for taking bhiksha, I repeat. In his everyday life, in his daily life, he used to be going out for doing bhiksha, for collecting alms from different houses, and it is said that he would never be accepting any alms or any bhiksha. Okay, if it was more than one palmful, handful, okay, madhukari. He used to be only accepting madhukari bhiksha. Always being absorbed, always staying absorbed in his own world. Somehow or other he would be managing to be collecting some bhiksha from few houses, several houses. And he said he was described to be not accepting more than madhukari amount, quantity of bhiksha from any house. As soon as it would be like more than madhukari, he would not accept. Only madhukari, handful, one handful or maybe two handful. And mostly he would be collecting rice, sabji, fruits, like that, and bring them, wash them nicely. He had bring them in his small thatched bhajan kuti where he used to be engaged in worshipping Gaura Gadadhara, So he was so particular. He was so particular and very careful about doing his cooking seva. It is said that he used to be washing each and everything he received from bhiksha very nicely, cleaning all of them very nicely, cutting them, and then he will be cooking the bhoga with so much attention and care. Then at some point we will be offering to Sri Gaura Nityananda Gaura Gadadhara Gopalji. And it is also said, also described, sometimes in being absorbed in his own mood, he would be offering all bhoga to them through his own language, like directly with loving claim with Gaur Gadadhara Gaura Nityananda deity, Gopala deity. And with loving claim, he would simply be asking them, come on now, eat. I have cooked now, see, I've gone out, I put so much time, energy, collecting alms for you, not for me, primarily for you. But now I have cooked nicely, offering, please eat. So we heard that sometimes he used to be feeling, he used to have some visualization like the Gaura Gadadhara, Gaura Nityananda Gopal were eating, or they were actually eating. Then he became very happy. So different stories are there, these are from different sources. He used to be very happy. Vamshi Babaji Maharaj. Okay, so every day he used to be worshipping Gaura Nityananda, Gaura Gadadhara Gopalaji, not always following some traditionally established ritual ways, but through his own spontaneous, following the ways of his own spontaneous loving devotion, spontaneously devoted way. He used to be talking. Many heard him, some fortunate people, fortunate devotees often heard him while going around his bhajan kuti, often heard him just talking for hours. He's speaking to Gaura Nityananda, Gaur Gadadhara Gopalji, speaking to him in many ways, taking care of them, talking with them, sometimes chastising them in some Vatsalya Rasa mood, lovingly chastising them, sometimes not agreeing with them because he was in the mode of talking in his own. Always, mostly, he used to be living in other world, transcendental world of the bhava. And being situated in that bhava, he used to be worshipping Gaur Nitai, Gaura Gadadhara Gopalji. Not, that worshipping was not mostly, I repeat, his ways of worshipping was not necessarily all the time to traditional worshippings. Not always, kind of traditional worshippings and ritual worshippings, but it was, nature of worshipping was more spontaneous. He was directly relating to them, talking with them, asking them what they like, what they don't like, which way they want to be served by him. Sometimes we telling them that they should communicate with him what they like, what they don't like, so that he can serve them nicely, knowing their likings and dislikings, kind of. So again, I repeat, the way he used to be engaged in worshipping them, not through traditionally established ritual worshipping most of the time, spontaneous, through the way of spontaneous loving devotion, or by the way of loving devotional, spontaneous loving devotion. And often he would not be taking bath, no question of changing his uniform dresses. We have seen one of his photographs, because he used to be living on the realm of Mahabhagavata, Avadhuta Mahabhagavata. Someone who is always devoid of external consciousness, no Vajradasha. Was totally devoid of or external material consciousness of your life. Okay, so but the Supreme Lords used to be reciprocating with him, talking with him, reciprocating with him. Okay, and accepting all his loving services. Not only that, he was talking with Gaur Nityananda, Gadadhara, Sri Gopalaji, but Lords also. They were also talking back to him. And then he was responding, but other people, other devotees could not hear Lords talking back to him. Only they could hear him only talking to Lord. But when he was talking back to Lord, saying, like reciprocating, oh, you are saying this? That's the way you want me to do? Very nice, I will try to do. So just replying to Lord, then these devotees could realize, so Lord also reciprocating with him, replying, and he is replying back. He was replying back to Lord. It would go on for hours sometimes, absorbed in that bhava. He used to remain absorbed in that world of the bhava, higher bhava, for hours. And somehow or other, he would manage to be cooking, cooking for the deities by some gracious empowerment, because he used to be out of external consciousness, but by some gracious empowerment, okay, by some gracious empowerment of Gaura Gadadhara, Gaura Nityananda Gopalaji, he would be able to manage some way, cooking bhoga and offer them. Then keeping the bhoga for hours, for long time, speaking with them, you eat it, tell me which one you like the best out of the items I cooked. Okay. This would be very cooperating with me. Sometimes some of the boys, they used to be a bit torturing with him externally, like Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. It's a similar culture, similar society. Both of them shared to be living in this similar society, whether Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj or Srila Vamshi Das Babaji Maharaj. Although they are not living side by side, okay, but they are sharing, they are living, okay, in the similar Indian society. There are some naughty boys and girls, naughty children, sometimes who used to be bit torturing those sadhus, thinking, the way they are looking at and all this. So, like the way Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to be talking to Krishna, Krishna, you are allowing all this. You are allowing all this to happen to me. I'm going to complain to Mother Jashoda against you. You are becoming very, very naughty. You become so naughty that you are inspiring these boys to be throwing some little stone at me and torturing me. Actually, you are playing naughtily with me. I'm going to file complaint to Mother Jashoda against you. After he talked, after Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj spoke to Krishna like that, then he stopped at some point. Playful way. Okay. Stop some way because those boys abstained, stopped doing that to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Also some other people came around, they chased those boys away. Why you are trying to torture our Babaji Maharaj? They chased them away in that. For Vamshi Das Babaji Maharaj also sometimes happened like that. Not often, sometimes. Okay, and there are different stories around that. All the possessions he had, one kopina, one bahirpasha dress, okay, just one little kamandalu, few earthen pots, mostly earthen pots, and some plates, some tree leaves, And he used to be managing his daily life only with that. And a thatched bhajan kutir. Okay. But it has been known, we have heard that Sri Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada engaged few of his disciples, several of his disciples, to be taking care of Babaji Maharaj, Srila Vamshi Babaji Maharaj, on daily basis, every day, going to seeing him, supplying some rice and other vegetables, okay, helping him, assisting him in his service. Sometimes he would not want to take more. Sometimes, upon knowing they are all sent by Saraswati Thakur, he would be gladly accepting all that, because he felt a special affection. He had always felt a very special affection for Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Okay. They knew each other. Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada had darshan of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and Srila Vamshi Das Babaji Maharaj several times. And he engaged some of his disciples to be serving, to be attending him, to be taking care of him in everyday life with all the necessary services, providing all the necessary services to him in this way. So, from Mayapur, he used to be living in those days, to be living in Swarupganj area, Godrumadeepa area. So from Mayapur, from Chaitanya Mount or Yogapit, some of his disciples used to be going to see him, to be seeing him, okay, almost daily, or quite frequently, in order to serve him, take care of him nicely, as ordered by their Gurudev, Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So thus, at some point, Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj and Srila Vamshi Das Babaji Maharaj used to be taken care of by Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Okay. But by the time Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, okay, even before the time, we hear that it is known among us that even before he was officially initiated by Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, in other words, before he officially took initiation from Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, they were pretty closely known to each other, intimately known to each other, because Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to be coming to see Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, take his darshana, considering him as one of his great Siksha Gurus, considering Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur one of his great Siksha Gurus. So he used to be coming to listen to his Bhagavatam classes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhagavata Pravachanam in his Godrumadeepa Sananda Sukada Kunja, sometimes Surabhi Kunja. So, therefore we see some memories are still preserved. Memories of Guru Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj is preserved in the Godruma Mandir, Gaur Gadadhara temple there. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj used to be regularly, almost very frequently, either regularly or frequently, most frequently would be going there to listen to the Bhagavatam classes, Bhagavata Pravachanam given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, at that time he was Bimala Prasad Saraswati. So from that time, naturally he used to be with his father. Okay, sometimes Bhaktivinoda Thakur's family members used to be coming there to Sananda Sukada Kunja, Surabhi Kunja, to be meeting their father. Yeah. So naturally Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada also used to be going there and be staying there. It was Bhaktivinoda Thakur's own residence. Okay, specifically Sananda Sukhada Kunja, his own residence. Therefore, we see side by side, fathers and sons, residence, rooms side by side. When we go up to see in Gadrumadipa temple, when we go up to see Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Bhajan Kuti, just beside his Bhajan Kuti, we find the Bhajan Kuti of Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So they used to be living together. So naturally came to see Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj many times. I mean, our Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada came to see him many times. They knew each other closely. So at some point, by the inspiration, by very specific inspiration of Thakur Bhaktivinoda, okay, to be taking initiation from, to be taking initiation from Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Bimala Prasad Saraswati Thakur approached him for initiation, and then he gladly accepted him as his disciple, although he was not ready in the beginning. At some point, he had great appreciation. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj felt great appreciation for the Saraswati Thakur, Bimala Prasad Saraswati's devotional quality, higher devotional qualities, and he could also sense and feel in his heart that it was also Thakur Bhaktivinoda's desire that he initiates his son. So, being captivated and captured by both, being happily obliged by both Divine Father and Divine Son. So at some point, he could not but happily agreed to initiate him. And he was the first and last disciple, one and only disciple, first and last disciple of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. So see, it is not known whether Bimala Prasad Saraswati, and from the days when he used to be known as Bimala Prasad Saraswati, actually came in contact with Vamshi Babaji Maharaj from that time. Surely, like the way he came in contact with Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, so it's not known clearly, but it's known that at some point, whether during that time or after he took initiation, after he took initiation and the sannyasa. Okay, but at some point he came in contact with Srila Vamshi Babaji Maharaj. And from the time he came in contact with him, from the time he could discover about him another Mahabhagavata Avadhuta devotee, Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was very particular. He was very adherent to be taking nice care of him by his own self and also by engaging his disciples to be taking care of him, serving him, okay, in a disciplined way. So we have heard that he used to be supplying rice and vegetables from his temple to Babaji Maharaj, Vamshi Babaji Maharaj, so that it doesn't have any scarcity, any lacking. And most of the times, after taking care of Babaji Maharaj for a while, when disciples would be coming back to their Gurudev, they would be coming back to Srila Prabhupada, report back, give some information reporting about Babaji Maharaj, Vamshi Babaji Maharaj. Mostly they would be describing We went to see Babaji Maharaj, trying to serve him, but for hours he is in another world. So we could not always speak with him. We went there, cleaned his ashrama, cleaned his bhajan kuti, did certain things what needed, required to be done, we felt. But we could not really talk with him because he was absorbed in his own another world. And speaking to Gaur Nitai, Gaur Gadadhar, Gopalji for hours, so we waited and then came. So Sri Thakur Prabhupada used to be smiling at them. We'd be very pleased with those disciples who were serving Babaji Maharaj, Bhankasidas Babaji Maharaj, Sri Abadhuta. Now, I know you are all learned devotees. You know, you understand about the character, the high-class transcendental nature and character of the Avadhuta. Bhankasidas, Sri Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj and Bhankasidas Babaji Maharaj, both are in the category of the Avadhutas. Not only Paramahamsa, but Avadhutas. So, you know, one of the very special characteristics of the great Mahabhagavata Avadhutas, that they live the life of their devotion and devotional service in relation to the Supreme Lord, just in unbridled, spontaneous manners. I repeat, just in unbridled, unrestricted, spontaneous flow of loving their devotional love. So, in other words, they're beyond all kinds of rules and regulations, beyond all kinds of, beyond all kinds of bindings of offering, services, devotional services to the Supreme Lord, following rules and regulations, ritual ways. But the way they offer their devotional service, loving service to Krishna, Radha Krishna, Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Dayal Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar. So the way they offer their loving service to the Supreme Lord is very living, alive, reciprocative way with the Supreme Lord. I mean, the way they feel inspired by the sweet will of the Supreme Lord, by divine couple Mahaprabhu. They follow the same way. They're just driven, guided, flow that way through the spontaneous devotion and serve them, beyond any kind of hard and fast rules, regulations, disciplines. Sometimes it's not that they never ever follow any disciplined way of doing services, not that. Sometimes they also offer their services, do their service in a very nicely disciplined manner, but many other times, just following their own spontaneous flow, of loving devotion, as they get inspired directly by the sweet will of the divine couple and Mahaprabhu, flowing accordingly and rendering their services. But the way they do cannot be understood in a normal way, therefore they are seen to be, because they are supernormal, therefore they are always seen by others like very uncommon, abnormal type. But factually, the opposite to the abnormal character, they are supernormal, we call. So because of their supernormal nature and activities, transcendental ways, spontaneous ways of relating to the Supreme Lord, which cannot be very compatible with the normal human ways, everyday life. Therefore, they are all often misunderstood by the ignorance, by the ignorant people as kind of mad, a mad person. Outwardly, that's how they also look outwardly, like Vamshi Babaji outwardly used to be looking like that, completely out of external consciousness, devoid of external consciousness. So, there's no necessity, no feelings of any necessity of taking care of body, cleaning body, taking bath, or cleaning the external clothes, or shaving the beards, or anything. All the time, so deeply established, firmly established in the loving devotional service, being situated on the plane of soul, in the core of his heart. So, in other words, always engaged in serving the Supreme Lord, offering his loving services to Supreme Lord continuously, okay, from the depth of his heart, from the plane of his soul. So much love, blissful love, completely away from bodily consciousness, independent of his bodily existence. Okay. Offering all services, doing all services by heart and soul, not by body, not by bodily applications, implementations, never physical implementation, mostly by all through, by heart and soul. Chaitya Guru level. So, innermost world. They always serve through the innermost world of love and devotion to Krishna Radhika Mahaprabhu. Therefore, they are considered avadhuta. Again, one of the characteristics of the great avadhuta is that they do things, they offer their services, they relate to the Supreme Lord in some other dynamic ways, such transcendental ways, so their ways look like otherworldly, not matching very well, not very compatible, matching with the normal human ways, social ways. Therefore looking like something wild, something abnormal type. The ways they offer all their services to the Supreme Lord, the manners they talk to the Supreme Lord, they do things in relation to the divine couple. Often all are transcendental, simply transcendental to the ordinary material ways, normal ways. Okay. So, because they are transcendental ways, we are not always acquainted with them, familiar with them. Otherworldly ways of their activity of other divine dimensions, which we are not familiar with. Therefore, to us looks like unusual, something, a lifestyle, a ways of relationship, relating to the Lord, talking, the language they're talking with the Lord, or of an unusual type to the other human beings, others, beyond our understanding, beyond our normal understandings. Therefore, those do not understand Those people don't understand those Mahabhagavata Avadhutas well. That is one of the main characteristics of the Avadhuta Vedas. Only they could understand who are in tune on that frequency. Only those other high-class pure devotees could understand, properly, appropriately understand the great personalities, greatly devoted personalities like Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Vamshi Das Babaji Maharaj, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, who could be in tune, divinely in tune on that divine frequency of their level, transcendental frequency. For example, Thakur Bhakti Vinod, Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur. For example, Srila Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. They could easily understand them and related it and did relate with them very appropriately, in a very befitting, appropriate way and mood. And often, we have heard that often Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada would be just prohibiting, sometimes prohibiting his own disciples to go and see Bhanksidas Babaji Maharaj. When he would be receiving some report that Bhanksidas Babaji Maharaj was yelling at deities, sometimes laughingly yelling at the deities, because deities were not listening. Deities are being naughtily playing with him. Okay, could not be easily subjected. They are being so naughtily playful with Bhanksidas Babaji Maharaj in the inner world. They could not be easily subjected to the reasons, could not be easily controlled. So often in the mood of Vatsalya Rasa, loving guardian, he would be chastising the deities, yelling at them lovingly to control them, and sometimes just accusing them if something would be happening, something wrong would be happening from the surroundings I used to be living in. Things are not happening very favorable way, some adversities, environmental adversities. And he would be directly talking with Gaura Nityananda. Gaura Nityananda, Gaur Gadadhar, his Gopalji. Why they are allowing all these things to happen? Why they make all these things to happen? So he used to be a bit disturbed and bit disturbed, irritated. That's another word. He used to be a bit irritated and annoyed with them, lovingly chastise them, trying to make them understand by speaking nicely sometimes also make them understand that this would be very nice with him. This would be very, very nice with him because he has been taking care of them so nicely. So they should have some gratitude also. Feelings of gratitude towards him, cannot be so ungrateful to someone, meaning himself, Bhanksidas Babaji Maharaj, who has been all the time taking care of them so nicely. How can they be so naughty with him? Should be nice with him. In many ways he used to be talking, the deities. And sometimes it would be happening, he was yelling at them, lovingly chastising them. Some other people surroundings, they would think, oh, he's acting like a madman, mad person. Okay. But some very few of the very fortunate people could understand. He's Siddha Mahatma. They would be respectful. They would be very respectful towards him. Whereas other ordinary people would not be understanding his character with true respect. They would be misunderstanding him. So lest lest those disciples who are asked by Sri Thakur Prabhupada to be taking care of him in daily life, lest they also start misunderstanding him by looking at him in such a way. In other words, lest they also become misguided by the external scenario and this have anything offensive understanding in their mind upon seeing Bangsidas Babaji Maharaj yelling at the deity or chastising them. He would be, Sri Thakur Prabhupada would be very careful. As soon as he would be informed and he would receive report like that, Babaji Maharaj is acting this way, Babaji Maharaj is now in this situation and in this temperament and position, simply be asking his disciples not to go. You simply be waiting, don't go right now. And telling them, I'm not trying to stop you all from serving him, but you have all not been so advanced. Okay, now have not been so advanced. Till now I feel that sometimes some offensive feelings will not appear in your mind. So, therefore for your safeguarding, in order to be protective, safeguarding about you all, I just ask you not to go to see him at this situation. After that period is over, that session period is over, the period session of his divine madness or his divine exchanges with their lordships over, then you go. You go and serve him nicely, but don't go right at this moment. In case you have any misunderstanding about him, then unknowingly you will be having some offense. Unknowingly even from your subconscious region, unknowingly you may get involved in some offense against Abudhuta. Even if you understand, you try to make you understand intellectually. No, what I am seeing externally, it is not that. He is a great Siddha Mahatma. Even if you believe in that, even if you know about that and you believe in that, you have got that respect for him, faith in him, still it's the nature of your mind. Sometimes the fickle nature of human mind. At certain moment, at some point, at some moment, mind may think about him, okay, like it's ridiculous, a bit of ridiculous things he is doing. He's acting like a madman. If it's, even for a moment that thought comes in your mind because of the flickering nature, because mind's flickering nature and fleeting nature and doubting nature, suspicious nature, then right at that moment some offense will enter. Offense will be entering your life. I don't want you to take that risk. No. I simply don't want you all to take that risk. So, Avadhuta. Today is also the Disappearance Day, Holy Disappearance Day of that Avadhuta, Srila Bhakti Babaji Maharaj, and also the other Mahabhagavata devotee, Srila Raghunandan Goswami Thakur. He was also considered to be one of the Mahabhagavatas. Okay, in future, Raghunandan Goswami Thakur. Today is the Holy Disappearance Days of both. Any relevant queries? Any queries really related or unrelated to the topics? Or if you want to take rest now, I'm also happy to put my Harikatha to rest for this evening. to just be engaged in singing some bhajan. If you have any query, related or unrelated, I'd also like to invite.